Have you ever wondered why so many countries are suddenly distancing themselves from America? What's really happening behind the scenes that's pushing old friends and familiar enemies to unite in quiet rebellion? Could the United States be losing its grip on global influence in 2025? For decades, America has stood as a symbol of global leadership, power, and stability. Its military might, economic strength, and cultural dominance made it a central figure in shaping world politics. But today, something is changing. More and more countries are refusing to follow Washington's lead. Even some of its closest allies are questioning whether sticking with America still serves their national interests. This global shift didn't happen overnight. From aggressive foreign policies to controversial military actions, and from economic sanctions to cultural arrogance, many nations have grown tired of playing by America's rules. Add to that the rise of powerful competitors like China and Russia, and you have a world where American dominance is being openly challenged. What's truly shocking, though, is that it's not just America's rivals turning their backs, it's also countries you'd never expect. Nations once considered loyal partners are slowly but surely pulling away. Some are forging new alliances, others are taking a more neutral stance, and a few are even pushing back hard. Welcome to Wanderlust Ventures, where we uncover the truth behind the headlines and bring you stories that matter. In today's video, we reveal the top 10 countries that are turning against the United States in 2025, and trust us, number 1 will leave you stunned. If you're passionate about understanding the world beyond the surface, make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the bell icon, and join us as we dive deep into global politics, shifting alliances, and the changing face of American influence. Let's begin. Number 10. China. A superpower rivalry gone cold. How did America's biggest economic partner become its biggest challenger? Can diplomacy still save this dangerous rivalry? Tensions between China and the USA are at an all-time high. The trade wars that began years ago have now escalated into tech restrictions, cyber warfare accusations, and deepening military competition in the South China Sea. With both nations competing for global dominance, China has not only turned away from America, it's actively building a world where the USA plays second fiddle. From launching its own global lending programs to promoting alternatives to the dollar, China is laying the groundwork for a new world order, one without American supremacy. Number 9. Russia. Old Cold War, new cold shoulders. What happens when Cold War tensions never really thaw? Is Russia's current strategy aimed at isolating America? America and Russia have been geopolitical rivals for decades, but in 2025, the friction is dangerously sharp. Following numerous rounds of sanctions, proxy wars, and conflicting global ambitions, Russia is now fully embracing a post-American vision. It's strengthening its military alliances with nations like Iran and China while undermining American influence in regions like Africa and Eastern Europe. Russia doesn't just oppose USA policies, it's working to dismantle American global leadership. Number 8. Iran, an enemy of Washington's foreign policy. Why does Iran continue to defy the USA on every front? Can there ever be peace between Washington and Tehran? Iran has been a longtime adversary of America, but the hostility has intensified. Nuclear tensions are back in the headlines as Iran resumes uranium enrichment, ignoring American-led agreements. Tehran accuses the USA of spreading instability in the Middle East, while America brands Iran a state sponsor of terror. This bitter standoff fuels Iran's deepening ties with anti-American blocs, making reconciliation seem more impossible than ever. Number 7. North Korea. The silent threat. Why is North Korea still one of America's biggest threats? Has diplomacy completely failed? After multiple failed summits and stalled negotiations, North Korea has resumed missile testing and anti-American rhetoric. In 2025, the isolated regime led by Kim Jong-un is more committed than ever to resisting USA influence. Sanctions haven't worked, and military threats have only hardened Pyongyang's stance. With strong backing from China and Russia, North Korea continues to distance itself from any kind of cooperation with America, posing a continuous security risk in the Asia-Pacific. Number 6. Venezuela. From ally to open critic. Why did Venezuela shift from potential partner to fierce opponent of America? Is ideology stronger than economics? Once one of Latin America's richest nations, Venezuela has spiraled into economic chaos, blaming much of its downfall on American interference. The USA's support for opposition leaders, coupled with heavy sanctions, has pushed Venezuela closer to Russia, China, and Iran. President Nicolas Maduro openly accuses America of imperialism, and Venezuela is now a key voice in the anti-USA chorus across Latin America. Don't forget to smash that like button and drop a comment if you think diplomacy still has a chance in Venezuela. Number 5. Cuba. The island that refused to bow. Why is Cuba still resisting American friendship? Is the Cold War ever really over? Despite some brief moments of hope, Cuba remains a thorn in America's side. The decades-long embargo, failed normalization attempts, and conflicting ideologies have frozen relations once again in 2025. Cuba sees the USA as a threat to its sovereignty and resists any efforts seen as American domination. As Havana strengthens ties with Russia and Latin American neighbors, its message is clear: independence over American influence. Number 4. Malaysia, a quiet drift away from the USA. Why is a country like Malaysia turning away from America? What lies behind this unexpected shift? Malaysia was once seen as a moderate voice in Southeast Asia, cooperating closely with the USA. But recently, Kuala Lumpur has voiced criticism of American foreign policy, especially in relation to the Muslim world, Palestine, and U.S. military presence in Asia. Malaysia is now deepening its partnerships with China and embracing multipolar diplomacy that doesn't revolve around Washington. This shift may be subtle, but it's a clear sign that Malaysia is stepping out from under America's shadow. Number 3. Pakistan, strategic partner or strategic problem? Is Pakistan still a U.S. ally? Or is it moving toward America's rivals? Once called a major non-NATO ally, Pakistan is growing increasingly skeptical of American policies. Disagreements over Afghanistan, drone strikes, and perceived favoritism toward India have all soured relations. In 2025, Pakistan is aligning more with China through economic projects like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. It's also warming up to Russia and Iran. Though still officially cooperating with America, Pakistan's pivot is undeniable. Before we hit our top 2, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications because you won't want to miss our upcoming deep dives into shifting global alliances. Number 2. Turkey. A NATO member no more. How did Turkey go from being America's ally to one of its biggest headaches? Is NATO on the brink of losing a major member? Turkey's relationship with the USA is full of contradictions. It's a NATO member but buys Russian weapons. It once relied on American support but now voices fierce criticism of Washington's stance on the Middle East, especially in Syria and with regard to the Kurds. Under President Erdogan, Turkey is pushing for a more independent and Islamic-driven foreign policy, one that increasingly challenges American interests. Ankara is not leaving NATO just yet, but its actions speak volumes. Number 1. Canada, the most shocking entry. Wait, Canada? How did America's closest neighbor end up on this list? This might surprise you the most. Canada and the USA have shared the world's longest undefended border, deep trade relations, and countless cultural ties. But in 2025, even Canada is showing signs of pulling back. Why? From environmental disagreements and trade tensions to diverging political ideologies, Canada is asserting itself more independently on the world stage. It's criticizing American gun laws, climate policy, and foreign interventions while championing global cooperation without American leadership. Some Canadians now openly question whether aligning so closely with the USA still serves their national interest. This subtle rebellion may not look like hostility, but it signals a seismic shift in North American relations. Surprised to see Canada here? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow us for more bold insights like this. A world turning without America. The global landscape in 2025 is drastically different. America, once the undisputed leader of the world, is now facing pushback not only from rivals but also from longtime friends. Some of this change is driven by America's foreign policies, others by rising nationalism, global economic shifts, and a desire for multipolar power distribution. Either way, the USA must now navigate a world where its influence is no longer guaranteed and respect must be earned, not assumed. If you enjoyed this deep dive, tap that bell icon, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Which country surprised you the most? Are we entering a post-American era, or is this just a phase? Stay tuned and keep your eyes on Journey Unfolded for the stories behind the headlines.